leadership with Lieutenant Gordon. That's a miss. I will perplex up Nova's attack with the PD Officer, so it'll be an 11. Give Lieutenant Gordon a power action. Move him and up to 2 adjacent friendly characters who possess team ability or keywords possessed by Lieutenant Gordon. Give them a move action as a free action, replacing all their movement stats with Lieutenant Gordon. So he has an 8 movement. Gordon will move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cosmo will move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lieutenant gets the token. And Nova will move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, because it was a free action, Cosmo and Nova can move or choose to do something. I will now use TK with Cosmo to TK Nova out 8 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, Nova, because he has the Gauntlet, he has Ranged Combat Expert starting on his dial, and he will then use Ranged Combat Expert, targeting Iron Man and War Machine, perplexed up to an 11 tack, 11 on an 18, doing 5 damage. That's a 7, that hits for 5 damage. Iron Man and War Machine get to roll impervious. That misses. Deals 5 damage, they reduce 2, they take 3. 1, 2, 3. So I hope you enjoyed my demo of this police team that I built. Now there's a bunch of different ways to run it, and there's a bunch of different figures that you can use. So we're going to talk a little bit about theme teams using the police keywords. So this has the GCPD Officer, 40 points. You can play him at 2 different dials. One of his dials he has Outwit. This one he has Perplex. We're using the Perplex. And this is Lieutenant Gordon. He's the one that really makes this team move and do what it can do because of his special power for attack. Give Lieutenant Gordon a power action. You can immediately give him and up to 2 adjacent friendly characters who possess a team ability or keyword possessed by Lieutenant Gordon a move action as a free action, replacing all characters' speed values with Lieutenant's unmodified speed value. You give him a token, and if you're adjacent to him and they have a team ability or keyword, they can move 8 squares. And then they can be given actions afterwards because it was a free action to move those other 2 characters. That's how Cosmo can use TK, and that's why Nova can then make an attack. Nova and Cosmo get into position due to the free action, and then Cosmo uses TK, and then after TK, you're allowed to be given an action, so that's when Nova can also make his attack. He can either use that range attack like he does with 8. This figure actually has a special power, and it is the human rocket. Nova can use charge and automatically breaks away. When he uses it, and moves up to 3 squares and only in the same horizontal, vertical, or diagonal modify his damage by +1. This I use the range, but you could also charge in and do an extra damage if you can make it in a straight line. So that's really good, and that makes that figure a good fit for this team because he can pretty much get to anywhere on the map. Because with the Gauntlet, yeah, you have to play this Nova with the Gauntlet because he would get the Space Gem to give him +2 to his movement. That's on the first click of the Infinity Gauntlet. You get the Space Gem that gives you the +2 to movement. You have the Time Gem that gives you super senses and in-cap, which you're not going to be able to really use when you use your attack. But you also have the Power Gem, which is based on your range. If you have 5 or more, you get Ranged Combat Expert. He has 8, so that's what he gets. That's how you can get that Ranged Combat Expert. So it's very, very nice. This team has first strike ability from anywhere on the map. I use this one for an example. Yes, you have to worry about first turn immunity, but if you go first, you just pass, and your opponent basically either passes or can move anywhere on the map. But from this team, you can set it up with a charge or range attack. So you're going to be able to attack him no matter what. And then you have the option to go on your second turn because there's after first turn immunity. Here's the alternative to this team. You still use the Lieutenant Gordon to get into position. This time you use Flash as your attacker, and you can TK Flash, and because he has hypersonic, he can pretty much get anywhere on the map. And then you can use Abin Sir to fly behind you and then carry all these characters around. You can technically move out and then carry everyone back to your starting base by the next turn. So it's really cool, and I will show you an example of that right now. I'm going to break this strategy down for you so you can kind of see how it works using the Flash team, but you can also take into consideration for the Nova team down here. So you start out with leadership on Lieutenant Gordon. Now this helps the team out considerably because you can take off tokens with this team. Flash is too high, so you can't take tokens off of him, but the PD officer down here, he is lower than Lieutenant Gordon, so when they're next to each other you can take tokens off, and this helps things to move along and give you more opportunities to attack. So you roll the leadership, it doesn't really matter. You get it. So now all 4 of these figures can do actions, and that's huge to do what you want to do. So first thing what you're going to want to do is get into position. Now you can get into position by using Lieutenant Gordon to get everyone up, or the other option is to use your first turn. If you don't think your opponent can hit you, then you want to carry everyone up with him. And then that would be your first turn. So now you have more range on your team because Abin Sir can carry up to 8 characters. So that's another bonus with Abin Sir here, is you can get further up. And then on your next turn, say, he can't, this team over here cannot attack you from here. But they're going to try to get into position, you know, somewhere over here to be out of the way and harder to hit, right? And then they can come down and fly down and make a shot on someone. So, you know, that's basically an idea. Then, so they get a token. Next turn, you're going to roll for leadership. You didn't get it. But if you did get it, you could take the token off of him. But, you know, it doesn't really matter. So now you give him the token. Now he can move 8 squares. Now, you know, anywhere you want to go, really. This is just kind of hypothetical, and I'm not going to do like strategic placement. But to get an attack off on them, you're going to want to get into position. So you're going to want to put them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? Then these 2 guys can move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? He'll move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He gets the token. Now Cosmo and Flash can be given actions because those were free actions to get into position. If you had a ranged character like Nova, you could use the PD and the enhancement if they were on the edge to make a ranged attack. But since they're not on the edge, and this is elevation 2, and this is elevation 3, you can't see each other. So what you're going to do to get that attack off, you're going to use Cosmo's TK. So you're going to activate the TK. Boom. Flash now is able to get over here. Now he is TK'd over there, and now he can make an attack on War Machine and Iron Man. He only does 2 damage, so you're going to need to use his Perplex to do 3 damage there. Since he has hypersonic, you would want to declare that, saying, I'm going to use hypersonic, and then you would just make the attack roll. That actually hits. They would get to roll their impervious roll. That misses. They would take 1 click of damage. He has 14 movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And guess what? Now they're back together, and their options are so great now. Now it's their turn. They have Indom, but they don't have move and attack. This is actually still on the click from the first game. But anyway, say if it had the run and shot, it could now come over here and make an attack. We're not going to do that, but whatever. So they make an attack. So now they're pushed. Now it's your turn. Lieutenant Gordon still has leadership. You roll that leadership. You didn't get it. The key thing with this character, though, he has willpower. So now you can activate that power again, giving it 2. Now he can move 8 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These 2 characters can now move with the free action. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He gets that, keeps the token. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You kind of see this? He can now carry everyone back to the starting base because he can carry up to 3 people. That would push him. You can take the pushing damage. Everyone continues with their tokens. And that's basically it. And because they attacked last turn, they would clear. This team over here would have to clear. And now you have your turn. You're not going to be able to get into position because Lieutenant Gordon and Abin Sir are both pushed. So you're going to clear them. And now War Machine and Iron Man, they have no possible way to attack you. Let's just see if they could. If they have running shot, they have a 10 movement here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then they have 8 movement, 8 range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's not enough. I think on their starting click, they have 12, so they could have moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 4, 6, 8. Still are not going to be able to get back to you. And if you see this top corner over here, you could actually carry your characters way back over there. And then, you know, so they're over here. And then you activate it again. Giving him a token. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You do 6 because you need the other characters to get into range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You activate the TK, or because they're closer now, you can just use your hypersonic and get them over that way. The other example I want to make is to show that with this team, with the Nova team, you can charge from anywhere on the map because, like I said, I'm not going to put the tokens down here, but I'm just going to show you the layout. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep him up here. Move him up here. Move him there. If you would have rolled leadership, he could then move. You put him there so you can get a line of sight here. If not, you just perplex from back here. And now you TK him out 8 squares. 2, 4, 6, 8. Because he has the Infinity Gauntlet, he has the Space Gem that gives him a +2 to his movement, and he has charge with an 11. So that would be a 13. You half that, and that is a 7. So he can charge from 7 in that square. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can charge right there. And if you want to get the diagonal angle, or vertical or horizontal, then you might want to set your character up a little bit to get that angle. But sometimes you're not going to be able to, and that's okay, but if you're able to, you want to do that. And then you can make an attack right there. So before I wrap this video up, I want to go over a couple other figures that you might want to add to this police team if you want to go for more points, or if you don't like Flash or you don't like the Nova. We have Harvey Dent. The cool thing about him is if you start your turn next to him, that character now has willpower until the end of your turn. So that's a really nice figure. He also has stealth as a team ability, and he has probability. For 60 points, he works very well on a police team. We have Barry Allen. He has hypersonic, an 11 attack, and 3 damage. I kind of think I like this one maybe better than that Flash, even though this Flash right here has the really awesome super senses. 50% chances of avoiding an attack with super senses, which is really, really good. He just doesn't have a huge attack or a lot of damage, but the perplex helps a lot. So you have to take that into consideration. This one is actually less points as well, but you don't have, you have just some different options. Then we have Rachel Dawes. She has 2 perplexes she can use if you have keywords with her. The only thing is you can't perplex the same character twice. But if you have multiple characters on your team, then, you know, you perplex one person, you perplex the other. She also has the PD team ability as well. Not to forget the Marquee Batman, which is really good. If you play him with any of the Lieutenant Gordons or Commissioner Gordons or Sergeant Gordon, he can possess the PD team ability and the PD keyword, and I believe he gives those Lieutenant Gordons the Batman TA, which would give them stealth, and if they're next to each other, they both get +1 to their attacks. So that's really good. And he starts off with charge and in Dom. So, you know, you have some options. You're not going to be able to put the full gauntlet on him because he's too many points. If you decided to take Nova out and to put the Batman, you could play him with 5 of the gems, but not 6 of the gems. That's okay because he's a stealth figure, so it's going to be kind of hard for them to outwit him anyways, unless you're just right out in the open. But for the most part, you can still get a gauntlet on him. You can put a gauntlet on Barry Allen or the Flash, not with the Abin Sir on that team because of the points, but still, I mean, you know, you can use these figures and try to build around what you want to do, but these are some very nice figures for police theme teams. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it wasn't too confusing. If you have any questions, please comment me. I'm sure I can answer it, or someone else can leave a comment explaining your question. Also, please subscribe and stay tuned for more Heroclix videos. Have a good day, guys.